Now, listen up, guys. Some of you might be taking the test on August 7th, starting August 7th, right? And starting August 7th, the format of part 2 will totally change for TOEIC speaking. So they're going to give you 45 seconds of preparation time, but they're going to reduce the answering time to 30 seconds. Now, this is a big change because for the last 15, almost 16 years, we've been describing the pictures on TOEIC speaking part 2 for 45 seconds. So it was good enough time to talk about this and that and everything about the picture. But now 30 seconds is quite short. And I've been practicing with some of my students, and it turns out most of my students are confused and they're having a hard time to fit in everything they want to say in that 30 seconds. So good part is his part. The good news is I came up with a solution, okay? So I'm gonna give you 2 strategies. Now, strategy number 1, strategy number 1 is for the pictures with 3 or less than 3 numbers of people, okay? So if there are 3 or less people in a picture, you use this strategy. And that is, first of all, you always talk about where this picture was taken and how many people are there. But when you go into each of the individuals there on the picture, you would first talk about the location. You always talk about the location of the person you're describing. And secondly, what they look like what his or her hair color is, the length of the hair is, what they are wearing. Talk about one thing about their appearance. It doesn't have to be 2. It just has to be 1, okay? You can just talk about one thing about their appearance. And lastly, always don't forget to talk about their actions, okay? Because verbs, actions, when you're describing their actions, that's the part where it gets you more points, okay? So for instance, the guy on the left side, look at the guy on the left side. Even if I don't say guy, if I just say person on the left side, you know that I'm talking about that man, right? So the man has short hair, right? He has sort of wavy hair. It's not curly, but I would say it's wavy. And he's wearing brown shirt. So you can say both, but if you're a slow speaker, just talk about one. And then the action. The action goes he's standing in front of a copy machine. Or you could say he's making some copies. He's making some copies. Okay? TOEIC loves this word copy, because they want you to know the difference between coffee. I drink a cup of coffee. Or he's making some copies. He's making some copies. Okay? So I always show my students from the side the difference between coffee and copy is coffee. But copy. So the word copy, when I say that word copy, I open up my jaws more, right? Copy, or coffee. Okay, so anyway, the location, his looks, appearance, and about his actions. All right, and let's talk about the person on the right side or the person in the background. That is her location. So that's first her location, and then about her appearance, it would be either she has blonde hair, or you could say she's wearing a black shirt. You can say both if you're a fast speaker. You can say just one if you're a slow speaker, okay? And what is she doing? This is the most important part. I emphasize again, you have to talk about the actions. She is sitting down, right? She is using a laptop computer. You can just say computer. Or she is typing on a keyboard, or she is looking at her computer. There are many verbs to talk about her actions, okay? So you can say all 4, but you wouldn't have enough time, okay? In case of 30 seconds, you wouldn't have enough time. So 1 verb or maybe 2 would be just fine. And if you have time remaining, let's say 5 to 7 seconds, you can talk about the bookshelf, the shelf behind her, but also talk about the location. Behind her, I can see a bookshelf, okay? And around the time when there's only 3 seconds remaining on the screen, say maybe they're busy, and give an ending, give a closure to your answer, okay? So this is a strategy. This is the strategy I'm telling you when there are 3 or less people in the picture. Okay? Always talk about the person's location or the thing's location and about the appearance and about the action. You can talk about 1, 1, 1. Okay? All right. So I will show you how I do it, how I do this one in 30 seconds. This is a picture taken in an office, and there are 2 people in this picture. On the left side of the picture, there is a man. He has short hair and he's wearing a brown shirt. He is standing and making some copies. On the right side of the picture, there's a woman. She has blonde hair and she is sitting down and using a laptop computer. Behind her, I can see a bookshelf, and maybe they are busy. Okay, so this is how you make a 30-second answer for a picture with 3 or less number of people. Okay? Now, moving on to something like this. Now, we don't always see a picture with, just few number of people. We sometimes see some, pictures with many numbers of people. So I brought this one because this kind of like scene, people with suitcases, appeared a lot recently. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in this picture, right? So it's not like many numbers of people, but it's still a lot for 30 seconds. And some people might say, oh, teacher, 30 seconds is not enough time to talk about everyone there, talk about everything on the picture. I don't think I can do it. Well, there is a way to do it, okay? Now, when you see a picture with 4 or more people, then this is what you do. You have to sort of like dissect the picture. You have to, split them into parts. And in this case, I would split this picture into 2 parts. Left side, right side, right? I would go with like similar locations. Like this location here, like left side of the picture, 3 people are standing together, right? So I would put that into one part. And this side here, is the right side of the picture, right? And these 2 people are, in the same area, right? There. So that's like the other part. So there are 2 sections. And I would talk about the left side, and then I would talk about the right side. But when you are describing a picture with many people, even more than this picture, then you would always have to use the expressions like all of them are, some of them are, 2 of them are, most of them are, and 1 of them is. Okay? All right, now I'm going to show you. Let's talk about the left side first. When I say on the left side of the picture, there are 3 people. All of them are standing in line. 1 of them is wearing a dress. 1 of them is standing and holding something. And 1 of them has white hair. Okay, so I talked about them all at the same time. And what I did was I said all of them are standing in line. Okay, so this one sentence shows what they're doing. Actually, I talked about their action in 1 sentence. So there's not many more to say. But I said something like 1 of them is wearing a dress, which I'm talking about is the woman. And 1 of them is wearing jeans. And 1 of them has white hair, the old guy in the back, right? So you talk about 1 per person. You can't say anything more because we don't have time. Now let's move on to the right side. 2 people, right? There are 2 people. Now, both of them are wearing uniforms and helping others, okay? So I talked about 2 things about these 2 people. Both of them are wearing uniforms and helping people. Okay. So if you use this right, you can talk about whichever number of people are in the picture is in the picture. It wouldn't matter to you. It wouldn't matter. Okay. So I will show you how I do it. This is a picture taken inside a building, and there are 5 people in this picture. On the left side of the picture, there are 3 people, and all of them are standing in line. One of them is wearing a dress, she is holding a blue suitcase, one of them is wearing jeans, and one of them has white hair. On the right side of the picture, there are 2 people, and both of them are wearing uniforms and helping others. Maybe people are busy. Okay, so I was able to describe this picture in 30 seconds. I was able to. All right, so guys, this is how you do it. We've got only 30 seconds now to describe a picture, and you gotta have a strategy, okay? Now, we do not have much time to talk about the background. Yeah, 30 seconds is a very short period of time. So just focus on people. Just focus on the people. Talk about their appearance, just one thing, and move on to whatever they're doing, their actions. Use the verbs. That's where the points happen. Okay, brown sweater. Yes, she's typing on a laptop computer, and it's a counter. You can say the thing on the right side was a counter, in fact. Yeah, indeed, it was a counter. Tadashi, so you think it's better to wrap up your speech by saying something like maybe they're busy? Yeah, if you can, but normally I've tested a lot with my students for the last 1 month, and it seems like they really don't have enough time to give a wrap up. Yeah, so if you can't, I'd rather say you really don't have to, but just there are some very simple ways to wrap up a picture. You would say maybe they are busy. Most cases when they're working, right? And maybe they are having a good time, most cases for ETS questions. And maybe for people in the streets, they are going somewhere would be a good wrap up. Yeah, other than that, I don't think it's really necessary to talk about it at the end of the picture description because you don't have enough time. Sai, ZZ, Gwen, I have a question. It is also okay. There are queuing up, yeah, online, queuing up the line, queuing the line, yes. And Pablo, many thanks for your useful advice and suggestions for the I am taking it next month. Hope to reach C1 level. I hope so too. I pray for you. Okay. All right, so this is the way to go for 30-second answer. Now, if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below on this video, and I will gladly reply to those comments, okay?